Welcome back to Hawk Talk, your source for all things National Park College Nighthawk athletics here on the Nighthawk Network. Alongside NPC Athletic Director Jason Hudnall, I'm Mark Oliver, sports information for Nighthawk Nation. Hawk Talk is brought to you by the following sponsors: Hot Springs Baptist Church, your official home of Nighthawk men and women's soccer this season, and by First Security Bank. First Security Bank, a proud sponsor of Nighthawk athletics in 2021. First Security Bank, bank better. If you would like to join and support Nighthawk Nation this season, you can do so by looking online at np.edu/athletics. Coach, let's get right on into it. A full slate all across the board for Nighthawk
Absolutely.
Nation. Same story every week. This week, we're going to start with Nighthawk softball. Coach Autumn Wyatt and her Fall Elite Prospect Camp over at Kimmery Park over the weekend, and a huge turnout for the new coach of the Nighthawks. Everybody wanting a chance to be a part of this program as it continues to grow.
That's right. I know Coach Wyatt came into my office, was really bragging on some of the young ladies, some of the information that she got from the young ladies that came out, and really excited about some potential student athletes there. I know she'll be following up with that. Great turnout. Appreciate even some of our roster helping out with the prospect camp. I think Coach Thompson and some volunteers around our community helped out with that as well. So really appreciate the support that we had with that. Big success, and hope it pays dividends in the future as we get some more Nighthawks out of the deal.
Now, something that I noticed, I've been to a few of these camps, even dating back to Coach Taylor. We're starting to see returning potential players coming to multiple camps. There's a lot of competition. They know that not everybody's going to make it, but everybody out there showing their stuff. And I got to say, if this is what the future of Nighthawk softball looks like, the future is extremely bright.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. You know, the softball in our area is just getting better and better. It's really a testament to a lot of our high school coaches in the area. It's a testament to some of the travel coaches that are in our area. But what I've been impressed with, Mark, is that a lot of these young ladies are not from Garland County. You know, we're starting to reach out, and there are girls coming in from Tulsa and Dallas area that are finding out about National Park College. Coach Wyatt's reaching out to them. So our footprint is really expanding, not only for softball, but for athletics as a whole.
Coach, Nighthawk baseball was flying high over the weekend. Its second straight weekend series against Central Baptist College. They were playing over at Lakeside High School, and they got started big. A lot of fun to watch. A great crowd on hand as well.
Absolutely. Now, I walked in, I think I was came in at the end of the first inning there, got there a little bit late, and it was already just about a full house out there. Really want to thank Lakeside High School and Coach Darren Landry, the athletic director out there at Lakeside, for allowing us to use their facility for that game. Our normal facilities were not available to us, and so, but man, it's always so much fun when you walk into a baseball stadium and you feel the excitement and the energy and all the crowd that was there. It's just it's been a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to see our guys out there. I think we saw some home runs and some strikeouts, and really our guys really performed well in that doubleheader. I was proud of them.
And we had some familiar faces doing familiar things, the players that we know and love at this point, but a lot of new faces as well, really showing their stuff and, you know, showing out to Coach Rich Thompson.
Yeah.
Everybody's competing for a roster spot, and I don't know how he's going to do it, Coach.
Hey, he's really deep. Coach Thompson said that several times this year. You know, we know a lot of our returners. You know, we know Matthew Herron's going to get it there and he's going to strike people out. We know DeMias is going to hit bombs. You know, we know that's what those guys do because they've done it for us last year, and we're familiar with them, and we start to just kind of lean on those. But man, all these new faces that are coming in, Mark, that are, you know, well, who's that kid? And I've got guys in the there's a lady was at the game Saturday and was kind of frustrated with me as athletic director because they wear their practice jerseys in the for the games and it didn't have the numbers, and she wanted to know who that kid was that just hit that home run. And I love that. You know, she had no particular tie to the team other than she's a community member that wanted to come watch some good baseball, and she wanted to follow these young men. So we're getting to see a lot of new faces make a lot of big plays, so it's been a lot of fun.
Coach, big week for you this week. Men and women's cross country back in action. This time you're on the road. You're in Oklahoma, Carl Albert State College. Now, this is really the final tune-up meet, if you will. You've got a very big month ahead of you with the Region 2 championships on the horizon.
Yeah, with cross country, we're really coming down. This is kind of our home stretch right here. The kids have really been working hard, proud of how they're running. We've ran in some really fast meets the last couple of meets. Now we're going to run in one that is going to be more of our region. I'm really excited to see how we compete against the Carl Albert, the Connor State, the Rich Mountain. Redlands will be there. You know, the 5 teams from our region will be at this meet there at Carl Albert, so it's going to be a good measuring stick for us to see maybe where we stack up going into the regional championships.
What are some of the goals that you've set for your runners, the men and the women? Like you said, these are the same athletes that you'll be competing against roughly 2 weeks from this point. What is the game plan for Nighthawk Nation?
You know, we know in our region that, you know, Northwest Arkansas and Rich Mountain are kind of the 2 teams that are right there, that are at the top of our league right now. Northwest Arkansas is new to our league, but how they've been running this year, running really well. Rich Mountain has kind of been the cream of the crop over the last couple of years. We really feel like we've got a team this year that's going to be up there and has a chance to finish in the top half of our region and maybe make a run and make a vie for it to knock one of those off.
Coach, let's switch gears to soccer. The men and the women struggled a little bit on the road Sunday. This long road trip is coming to an end very soon. We've got one more on the road this week, and then this weekend, Sunday, they're both finally back at home at Hot Springs Baptist Church. I know they're anxiously awaiting not only to get at Rich Mountain, but to get back home in front of the home crowd here in Nighthawk Nation. What can you tell me about Coach Tello's bunch this week?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like they've been on the road for about a month, Mark. You know, they've been fighting and battling. You know, the women will pick up a win at Redlands, and they're going to be going to Tonkawa, which is going to be a really huge task. Just to be honest, I mean, NOC Tonkawa they're ranked. I think both their men and women have been ranked primarily most of the entire year. So it's going to be a tough task. I think our guys are really looking forward to that. They're still chomping at the bit to get that first region win, and hopefully it can come on the road this week.
Coach, we talked about it a little bit last week. Men's basketball, you know, out and about, trying to grow, not only as a team on the court, but off the court as well. We talked about the JUCO Jamboree, and Coach Hargrove was very nice to give us some footage of the men's success in Oklahoma. And we got to see a little bit of behind the scenes this week on social media. We posted the AdventureWorks ziplining video with the team out there bonding. Talked to Cam Vick yesterday, Coach, and he said that this is one of the most favorite things that they do as a team, and it doesn't even happen on a basketball court.
That's exactly right. Now, this has kind of become a tradition that Coach Hargrove has done over the last couple of years with our men's basketball team. Special thank you again to AdventureWorks out there at Lake Catherine State Park in that area, and they work so well with our athletic teams and have been a great partner with us in that. The guys enjoy it. They love it. For many of our new faces, it's the first time they've been at a park like that or done any zip lining or been a part of like that. You see some nervous eyes and some nervous faces sometimes when they get tied in and are 20 feet off the ground, a little bit nervous. But we like putting them in situations that they're not comfortable in. You know, get them outside of their box a little bit, and that's so much about what we're about in Nighthawk Athletics. It's not just those games or your particular sport, but it's all the other life lessons that we're trying to teach them, and bonding and being able to trust a teammate and trust coaches and doing things that maybe you've not done before. That's all part of the college student athlete experience. So we're excited to provide that.
Can't wait to see the men's basketball team in action. TikTok, it's coming less than a month.
Right around the corner. I can't wait.
Hey, same thing for women's basketball as well. Coach Dominique Battles getting these women in shape, basketball ready, and I think that we're going to really impress a lot of people this year.
Yeah, hey, just a few weeks, November 1, women go to Southwest Tennessee. In Memphis, and that's going to be here before we know it. Get to walk through practice every once in a while, see how the women are taking shape. They're excited to play. They're ready to play somebody in a different color jersey. I know Coach Battles is really excited to have him on board as well this season, and I'm excited to see some round ball.
Talked to Coach Battles this week. He said practice is going great. Coach said the offense is really starting to flow. The ladies have really surprised him in how hard they're working on both sides of the ball. But he really gave his hat off to assistant coach Reggie Rogers. Said that Coach Rogers has done a lot of the legwork getting these girls in shape. They've bought in to their game plan and how hard they're being pushed. And Coach Battles says if this effort matches what we're going to see in the games this season, Nighthawk Nation will be must-see basketball this year.
Absolutely. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I can't say it enough. If you're a basketball fan here in Hot Springs, you've absolutely got to find your way out to the Kettle this basketball season. I think you're going to be entertained by both our men and women this season.
Now, Coach, all next week, every single one of your teams is going to be out and about in the community. Tell us a little bit more about what's going on for the Nighthawks.
Well, like we said earlier, this is more than just about one particular game or one particular sport. We really want to show our support to our community. And so next week at the Lakeside Primary, Nighthawk Athletics is taking over the entire week out there as car door openers. And so if you've got a youngster that's going to be at Lakeside Primary, you're going to see a Nighthawk student athlete Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There'll be our teams will be out there opening car doors for the primary kids there at Lakeside Primary. It's always one of our favorite events that our young men and women do, and just to give high fives and fist bumps and to see those young, hopefully maybe future Nighthawks there at Lakeside.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Coach. You know, these guys and girls are role models for this community. Not all of them come from this community.
That's right.
But now they are a part of this community. You know, I know that even my own kids, when we're out and about shopping in stores locally around town, they see someone with a Nighthawk hat. That's a Nighthawk, Dad. That's a Nighthawk. I'm like, yeah. So these kids are taking notice. They want to follow in those footsteps one day, setting a great example across the board. Can't wait to see those pictures of all the excited kids.
No doubt.
Next
No
week.
doubt.
Coach, once again, another big week for Nighthawk Nation. We're really excited and can't wait to recap it all next week on Hawk Talk. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Get them Hawks.
You can follow the Nighthawks on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter for all news on Nighthawk Athletics. For Jason Hudnall, I'm Mark Oliver. This has been Hawk Talk on the Nighthawk Network.